Hi, Paul Slakis, Good News Planet. I'm speaking to Dr. Eric Pearl. Hi, Dr. Pearl. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Okay, good. We haven't spoken in a while, and I keep up to date with all the good things you're doing and reconnective healing, and you have a lot to offer our audience. So tell us some of the good things that you've been doing.
Well, let's see. We've recently completed 4 international studies, and we're going on to the 5th large one now that has demonstrated that reconnective healing is changing our DNA. This has been something that I've been saying because I've known it without scientific evidence. So we're very excited now that we do have the scientific evidence to back us up, because what this means is that it's optimizing the level of light that we emit, because our DNA emits specific levels of light that allows for the healing process. So we are truly becoming more light beings, or enlightened beings, if you want to use that phrase, here physically, measurably on Earth once we interact with the reconnective healing spectrum.
Okay. Now, when you do speak of light, what light are you talking about?
Well, God only knows. In other words, we know from the work of Dr. Fritz Popp in Germany and others that the DNA emits specific levels of light from the body. So that is what's the word? That is a pure coherent light. Coherent light is what's produced by the sun or produced by the body, as opposed to light that lacks coherence, such as what comes from light bulbs, or even worse, those what do you call those long, thin light bulbs?
Fluorescent light?
The which?
Fluorescent lights?
Yeah, the fluorescent. The fluorescent is even worse, which is why I'm really not thrilled with that government move where they're getting rid of the incandescent light bulbs and trying to replace them with fluorescent light. Because that's really bad for the brain and bad for the body, but that's a whole other story.
I had the good fortune to work on a series with Channel 13 PBS many years ago called The Brain. And I might have mentioned this when we spoke many years ago. And actually, they had used grow lights for plants, in front of, at the National Institute of Mental Health, for people that were winter depressive. And we showed with a PET scans, this is early on stuff, Richard Resnick was the neuroscientist, blah, 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 big PBS series, that light changed the way that the brain functioned.
Sure. You're talking about SAD. What was it? Seasonal affect disorder.
Okay, yes.
And they call it SAD, S-A-D, and they find that a lot of it strongly affects people who live in the northern climates or areas where they've got sun only 6 months out of each year. Correct.
So tell us how, with the work that you're doing and how people can benefit. In other words, I know you have lots of materials and so on and so forth. I know you're here in New York. Are you having some courses going on?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some seminars here. We're going to be doing, let's see, actually, I should have this with more clarity in front of me, but I don't right at the moment. What we're going to be doing is a seminar. Well, tonight I'm going to be speaking at a couple of different locations. Tonight I'm going to be speaking, tonight and tomorrow. And, of course, you asked me this. Ask me another question while I can find this.
Okay. 70,000 people around the world whose book is published in 36 languages, and information medicine, cutting edge, what scientists are calling information medicine. But you go way back at this. I mean, I kind of think the first time I interviewed you might be 10 or so years ago. And that's like not even long. I'm sure you've been doing this longer than that, your thinking process on this regard.
Oh, yeah, that's been going on for quite a bit. And I found the information you asked about. How do you like that?
Okay, so I covered our low
you
there.
You did both
okay.
things. Yeah, it's looking that way. Tonight I'm going to be speaking at the Meta Center, META, on 214 West 29th Street on the 16th
Okay, Jody Sirota's place. That's good.
Oh, good. I'm glad you know where that is.
Yeah,
because then if I need directions, I can call
many
you.
shows there. Yeah, Gil, you have any?
Really, really.
Indian restaurant across the street there. I like to get.
I love good Indian food.
And right across the street, and actually that's where my seminary, when I became an interfaith minister, that's where our seminary was, the new seminary on that same street right next to Jody's. So you're in a good spot there with nice, warm, loving, caring people, but make sure you don't have any holes in your socks because you're going to have to take off your shoes.
At the Meta Center, I will make sure I'm wearing good socks and clean underwear just in case I'm hit by a car. Tomorrow night, I know. Tomorrow, we have the same mother, apparently. Tomorrow night, I'll be at the Open Center, which is 22 East 30th Street.
Yep.
Okay, is there a good Indian restaurant around there, too?
Well, yeah, you got the Indian Center not far from there, over on Lexington Avenue. There's a lot of the 24-hour little Indian joints. I mean, that's Little Indy is not far from there.
There you go. And on Saturday, the 6th, we're going to be giving a reconnective yoga workshop.
Oh.
And one of our main yoga teachers, Elizabeth Polito, will be teaching that one.
Oh.
So
all
how
right,
do you like that?
I'm a yoga instructor if you need some help sometime.
Well, that sounds terrific, too, especially if there's a good Indian restaurant by there.
We will have the class next to an Indian restaurant. We'll have it in the back of one. So with all these, and so what are you saying in these, what will you be talking about, say, over at Jody's at the, or either Open Center or the Meta Center? What are you going to be telling people?
Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to give it, I believe they're 3-hour presentations, and we're going to talk about the history of the work, the theory of the work, the science behind it, and we're going to possibly bring up some volunteers from the audience to demonstrate the healings live so you can see the reality of this yourself or on your friends. By the way, for anyone coming, I forgot to mention that these start at 7 o'clock tonight and tomorrow night. So we'll give everyone a chance to feel it in their hands as well as bring up people for some live demonstrations of the healings. So you have a good understanding of what it is. And, of course, if there's time, we'll open for question and answer. But that's also what we'll be doing at the seminar here, the full weekend seminar. We'll be giving in, I think that's going to be in September at some time, but I'll have to find that one as well. Here it is, September 24 through 25. We're going to be giving a full seminar here, and that means it's a real working seminar. It's not sit around, hold hands, and sing Kumbaya, my Lord. It's pretty much we're on the stage. There's chairs on one side and massage tables on the other. And we demonstrate some of the work from the stage. Then we go to the massage tables and work, usually in groups of 2, sometimes in groups of 4. And I walk around to each table, and so does our internationally trained team of teaching assistants. And we show you how to feel for these frequencies, how to find this new healing bandwidth. And once you begin to notice and feel it, you start to see the person responding on the table. You'll start to see their eyes maybe rapidly dart back and forth. We'll show you how to pull or stretch the sensation, and you'll see the movements become larger and faster. You'll see their fingers move or their feet move, and you'll start to correlate that, when I'm here, I feel this and I see that, and when I move over here, I feel something else, and I see a change in the way their body is moving. And you start to recognize your role in this. And then we go back to the chairs. We talk about what we did. We talk about the philosophy and the consciousness of it. Some more, we demonstrate another level of the work. We go back to the tables. And by the end of that one weekend, and really it only takes one weekend, not years or months or multiple advanced weekends, you will, I can pretty much make you 2 promises. A, you'll be able to do anything and everything in the way of healing that I can do, and B, you'll be able to do anything and everything in the way of healing that any human being on this planet can do, whether they were raised by monks in a cave in a mountaintop in Tibet and fed grains of seed, each one fallen in on the beak of an individually chakra-colored bird, or whatever story we want to create for ourselves about moving to Brazil and changing our last name to of God. It doesn't matter the story. What matters is our willingness to transcend the story, to allow the healing process to become clear and demystified for everyone. But I'm wondering, When was the last time you and I spoke?
Many years ago.
So maybe we should give a little bit of the background story to the people listening?
Go ahead. Sure.
Okay. Because I'm sure that these are new listeners now.